I alluded to it, and I'm going to give the Celtics credit on what they've done so far, right? They only have to play 10 games to advance to the conference finals. And as a 64-win team that they are, the best team in the regular season by far, historically good of a team. Talent-wise, metrics, everything. Eye test, all there. Still haven't done anything.
Yeah.
Because the true litmus test of this team and the standard everyone was holding them to was what they did and what they will do in the finals, right?
Right.
Beat a Jimmy Butler-less Heat team in 5, and a team that was honestly terrible in the regular season. Cool. No one cares. You beat a Cavs team in 5 that wasn't any good. And again, without Donovan Mitchell, no Jared Allen, no Karis LeVert, which you could say, yeah, it's Karis LeVert.
Yeah, but, I mean,
the man stepped up when they needed him to, and they're depleted. Your league's better than the rest of the NBA, especially in the East.
Right.
So 2 series wins in 5, not really impressed by much on this one with this team.
Right.
And it is. You got to win it all. The roster is there. The coaching staff is there. It's Joe Mazzulla. It's Sam Cassell. It's Jeff Van Gundy as a senior consultant. Everything's going all in to win a banner.
Yeah.
They just haven't been tested yet. So it's still, I watch and I go, cool. It's an extension of the regular season is what the Celtics just made it through. They just a little longer.
Sure.
Weak opponents. And I don't think they're going to get much in the Eastern Conference Finals. So really, to me, the Celtics haven't done anything yet. I'm not impressed.
Well, listen, you make a great point from the Cavs standpoint of things about all the players that they had out, of course. But at the end of the day, we've seen this Celtics team punch down all season long. Whenever they played a team who were without their best players, or a team certainly in Boston, in TD Garden, that had no business hanging with the Celtics, we either saw those teams win games or cover games at the very least from the gambling aspect. I mean, this is what they've done all season. So I'm not quite as hard on them as you are in the sense of I'm not impressed, you haven't done anything. I look at it more as like status quo. Like, this is what this team has done.
Fair.
Where I have concerns, and I don't believe it's at a time when we're talking about another Eastern Conference Finals appearance, I don't feel like it's appropriate to go here, but I'm going to, because where I have concerns is there seems to be an arrogance with this team of, well, we can just flip the switch when we want to. And we've seen that. Now, that's where I will say in these playoffs, we saw that, right? Game 2 against the Heat, they lose because the Heat shoot the lights out. Same deal with the Cavs, right? Like, it's just like they punch down. They don't there's a certain malaise with this Celtics team. And then you hear the chirping from us. They hear that. They hear the noise. They feel the pressure of, oh, this team's going to collapse. And then they come out and they show you and they beat someone down. I actually thought Game 5 against the Cavs was going to be beatdown city. I really did. I thought they were going to make a mockery of that team, an example of that team, especially as you get up close to tip-off and you see all the Cavs are out that you mentioned. I thought for sure, okay, they're going to wax the floor with them, and they didn't do that. But that's what drives you nuts about this team, because you know damn well they can. And again, they have this mentality that we can flip the switch when we want. As the game went on in Game 5, George, we did see the Celtics start to pull away. Tatum take over, who we'll get to here. But that's what drives you nuts. You could probably get away with this same shenanigans that they've been doing all year, and they've been doing in the playoffs in the Eastern Conference Finals. But when you get to the finals, I don't really give a damn who you play. You're not going to be able to do that, because some of this is just the Eastern Conference. It's just the reality of the Eastern Conference. Do we want them to beat the hell out of everyone every single night? Of course we do. Do they? No, they don't. Do they get style points? Sometimes. But style points be damned. A win is a win. You're back in the Eastern Conference Finals. But when you get to the finals, you need 2 things. You need Kristaps Porzingis healthy, and you need to flip that damn switch that you believe you can flip.
And be consistent.
Be consistent and give maximum effort every single game.
This is us talking about a team that has 8 wins out of 10 games in this postseason. Average margin of victory, 18.5 points. But you said it. Is it a product of the East? I mean, this is a Heat team that was never good at any point this season. Never
Even
healthy and never
Butler.
got right. Exactly. This was a Cavs team that made things happen, especially when Darius Garland was out. And this is a Cavs team full strength that could have been a real threat.
Yeah.
But where were they without their best defender, one of their best defenders in Jared Allen, without their best player in Donovan Mitchell last 2 games? And if they get the Knicks, OG Anunoby dealing with a hamstring.
Yep.
Mitchell Robinson done for the postseason. Obviously, Julius Randle's been out for them. Bojan Bogdanovic done for the postseason as well.
Yep.
Jalen Brunson dealing with a bruised foot or something, but he's playing through it. It's just all coming up Celtics on their path to the finals, and that's fine. It's just they go out, tight game, margin of victory is big. What'd they win by? 15, 16?
Yep.
All right, 15. Good. And Jason Tatum showed up big time. But it's just, I'm still watching, and I go, okay, what have you done? Because, like I said, they had 64 wins in the regular season, tack on 8 more. Cool, it's a 72-win team right now. It's an extension of the regular season, what we've seen so far.
This is why I've consistently said this team is very good, but they lack the characteristics of a great team. They just do. I mean, great teams beat the hell out of inferior teams. Mm-hmm. They do, especially in the playoffs. I mean, they beat the hell out of those teams.
Yep.
You don't see that with the Celtic team. Now, I'll give credit where it's due here. Jason Tatum this series, as it went on,
especially his last 3 games,
was sensational. Mm-hmm. Absolutely awesome. Again, in Game 5, 25 points, 10 boards, 9 assists. Damn near messed around and got a triple-double.
And 4 steals, too.
I mean, he took over the game. He owned the game. God bless the refs. I keep giving the refs credit here because Jason Tatum now, for a few games, has got texts. He's been upset with the non-calls. When he gets ticked off, he shows up, and he is unstoppable. And he's the force that we all want him to be. That's the thing. I mean, listen, this team is back in the Eastern Conference Finals for the 3rd time in a row. And you would think George and I have graded the paper so critical that you're not going to pass a class. It's just, if anything, we, George and I, the media, the fans, you, we're just guilty of wanting more from this team consistently.
The standard's high.
There's
we saw it in the
nothing
finals.
wrong. There's nothing wrong with this.
Yeah.
Nothing. For people who try to make you feel bad because, oh, you're being tough on a team that wins all these games and they're back in the Eastern Conference Final. Look, this team could win the title this year. We all have acknowledged that. We all understand that. But again, very good, not great. Because if they were great, if they truly tapped into what their potential is, and none of us complain about the things we're complaining about with this team, right? Then honestly, you would be talking about this team winning a title this season, which we are, check. But you would also be having the conversation of this could be a modern-day dynasty because all these contracts are wrapped up. All these guys are in their prime. This isn't an old, beat-up, weathered team. This isn't a young, upstart team like the Timberwolves trying to figure it out. This is a team in their prime with a ton of playoff experience, a team that has been drafted, put together, cultivated, developed. And they're peaking. They're here. It's the time. The time is now to win a title, but you should be having the conversation that this could be a modern-day dynasty. No one's having that conversation because we just can't trust it.
Exactly.
We can't trust it.
And you got to see that first one come through.
Right.
And this is Karis LeVert had 19 points in Game 4 in a loss. Lose Donovan Mitchell, 29.6 points per game in the postseason, shooting 35% from 3. And Jared Allen, their best rim protector defender. So you go out, you beat them by 15, great job. But you also see what the strength is of this team, and as it's always been. Yes, it's the star power of Tatum, Brown, and Porzingis, but it's Derek White, 15 points in the first half. Al Horford, 22 and 15 in this game.
Big Al.
6 for 13 from 3. And the Celtics as a team, 65% they shot from the floor in the fourth quarter, with Drew Holiday going 5 for 5 from the floor. So that's where it is, and that's where I'll come up and say, all right, where's the win in this one? You just see the depth of this team pulling through.
Yes.
And again, Jaylen Brown on an off night scoring-wise, which up to tonight, he was their most consistent player in the playoffs. He's been great for them. But you see an off night for him. Derek White bounced back in the first half. Drew Holiday, great fourth quarter. Al Horford, great game. Jason Tatum, great game. And a closeout. So at least I'll give them that when they need to wake up. And there's that worry. No Donovan Mitchell again. Still without Jared Allen. All right, Karis LeVert's out. Is this when the team takes them too light, plays with their food a little too much? But they didn't do that. They
Well,
came out, it was tight.
it felt like they
But then the
did.
separation in the fourth. And
Yes.
that's part of it, though. And that's
They
what
pulled away
championship teams have to do is close out fourth
That's right.
quarters. And
That's
the
right.
Celtics did that.
They did. I will say this. Hearing you go through the numbers, especially Al Horford, who no one's surprised that he had a big game in a closeout scenario. That is a veteran
home.
of the team. He is playing for a ring. He deserves a ring. Hopefully, the Celtics can get him one here. But it's, to me, looking at this game proves, and really the past few, proves that Jason Tatum is the catalyst.
Yep.
He's the guy.
He's
Because
always been.
You just said Horford, big game. Derek White, big game. And what did you say? Jaylen Brown, not his best game tonight, but it didn't matter. I'm not saying he doesn't matter, but he's been scoring his arse off. And when Tatum doesn't, there's struggles there. Tatum's a catalyst.
Yeah.
You got to have it. Jaylen Brown could be off. Your other role players can bail you out in a sense. But what the one constant you have to have is Jason Tatum. You just have to have it. And he's been giving it to you consistently. He deserves credit for that. But can he sustain it? That's the question.
Going back to the 2022 finals run, this is a team, and I've said it since then, they go as far as Jason Tatum takes them. And it's how they're constructed.
Right.
With KP back in the fold, it'll still be how does Jason Tatum play? That's what this team is. Get your guys back, get your horses healthy.
Yeah.
And lucky for them, it's either a Knicks team that's banged up or a Pacers team that can't defend that they'll get in the Eastern Conference Finals. Find out after Friday.